Okay.
Hi, Phil. Thanks for talking to me again today.
Oh, you're welcome, yeah.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about was the issue of smoking. You know, there's so many of us that want to stop, and we just think, why can't we use willpower alone, to stop smoking? So what does hypnotherapy have to offer to be able to help us?
Yeah, it's sort of sometimes said that you have to want to stop smoking to do hypnotherapy. And of course, it's the obvious question, if you want to stop smoking, why do you need hypnotherapy?
Yeah.
Well, I think most people who smoke, there's a part of them that wants to stop smoking. We have this view of ourselves that we're one entity that makes decisions. Well, of course, we're not. We're pulled in a lot of different ways. And people sometimes say, oh, well, there's a part of me that wants to stop smoking, and there's a part of me that keeps on smoking. And
do I really want to stop? And
well, that's right.
Yeah.
So one of the things we need to do is, and we do this using hypnosis, is to pull out those different aspects of ourselves, to make us more conscious, more aware of these influences that pull us in different ways.
Okay.
This is why willpower doesn't work. I sometimes say to people that the more they think about stopping smoking, the more they think about smoking.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this works for some people.
Yes.
Some people can, particularly men, find it easier to stop cold turkey. I mean, they don't find it easy, but they have more success with it because they can push their way through. But we have all these different influences that pull us in different ways. Now, we pull out these different influences and we make people more aware and more conscious of them.
I see. Because we often fall into sort of an emotional habit, I need a 5-minute break, and so does hypnotherapy sort of replace that thinking, or how does it work?
Yeah, we offer alternatives and awareness. People often say, oh, I get really stressed, I want to get really stressed, you and have a cigarette. Yeah. And I say to them, well, you've got a workload that's so big, you come back from your cigarette, the workload's still so big, you haven't actually solved anything, have you?
Yeah.
And if you need the break, we'll take the break.
Yeah.
Go for a walk around the block. So I tell people always to drink a lot of water. And I say to people, if you want the break, go out, have the break, sit down, have that water, and then come back in. And give themselves permission to have a break. They don't need to smoke.
Yeah.
I used to smoke, I used to smoke 30 years ago, but what I was going to say was that I used to work in a company that had a lot of smokers, and they always used to be out in the car park smoking. And I used to go out and join them. And I don't smoke, but you get the gossip, you find out what's going on.
For a lot of people, it's a social thing,
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So I used to join them, and I used to say the only people who got out and enjoyed the fresh air were the smokers. Everybody else was stuck inside. So I'd say to people, give yourself permission, to go out, join the smokers. And people tell me, oh, I'll go out and join the smokers. People even offer me a cigarette, I just don't want one.
So I understand you've got a lifetime guarantee with with the smoking. So how can you guarantee that no one's ever going to?
Well, I don't actually guarantee that they're going to stop smoking and stop smoking. What I guarantee is that I make a commitment that if they were to take up smoking again, they can come back and we do more sessions.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I can't guarantee that they're going to stop smoking. There's a small percentage that either. A very small percentage will give up. That's very small. There are people who they go down from 40 a day. They smoke 2 a day, and they say, "Look, I'm quite happy with that, and that's it. We've reached a compromise." And I say to them, "Look, if you want to come back in 6 months and finish your job off, we can do that."
Right. And when you say finish things off, there could be something around that time that's made them sort of give up, start the habit again, and you're addressing that. Is that?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. They may they use that 2 a day as a kind of security. They can't bear the thought of actually stopping. But having gone 6 months on 2 a day, they realise they could actually give it up, so they can do the process again. You see.
And I think also a lot of women, it's a weight loss tool as well. And so,
well, it is and it isn't.
So
it is for a certain length of time.
Yeah.
But I sometimes feel like taking photographs of people, and you see these fat women, let's not beat around the bush, they're fat, they're sitting outside having a cigarette, and I sometimes feel like putting these photographs around the place and saying, well, this is you in 20 years. What? Yeah, you think you're going to stay thin by smoking. In fact, what will happen is you'll put the weight on and you'll still be smoking.
Because it's that attachment, all that, to eating.
Of course,
and that, so does hypnotherapy also help with the weight loss? Well,
it's an interesting thing. There's a certain percentage, probably about 20% of the population, that when they've stopped smoking will put weight on. It's a metabolic change.
Okay.
Now, we've got funny ideas about this in the West, and people, you know, they weigh themselves every day and they think, oh, I've put on 3 kilos.
And that's the fear and wanting to stop,
yeah,
you know, I'm going to
and they think it's the end of the world. Well, it's not. You put on a certain weight, but that's it. It's going to stay there. What happens, of course, is people panic, they start dieting, they change their eating habits, and then they get themselves into an even worse state. And that's only about 20% of the population. But there is another aspect to this, which is that people can substitute eating for smoking. And we deal with that. Because this is about consciousness and awareness. And if you can become aware of that cigarette and make the decision not to have it, you can also become aware that behind that thought is, oh, well, I'll have a Mars bar instead. Well, you can let that go as well.
I see. Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you very much for talking with me.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.